Hello everyone, this is Cindy Saddleman here once again for another review. I mean, we've had a lot of debuts on the US and abroad over the past couple of weeks, and it's not going to stop until the foreseeable future. The fun must continue. And it's going to continue because on Saturday, January 6th, 2024, a classic got revived in the UK, and that is the UK version of Wheel of Fortune. Now, the UK version revival is quite a departure from the American version that it's based off of. For starters, Graham Norton is the host, and there is no letter turner activator whatsoever in the UK version. This is something that has been done before in various countries. I know Brazil doesn't have a letter activator or co-host manning the board. I think there is a Filipino version that decided against a letter activator as well. Anyway, that aside, I want to talk about some of the positives and some of the negatives about the revival. We'll start with a massive positive. The set is gorgeous. It is maybe the best Wheel of Fortune set I have ever seen. Sure, it's a little bit dark, but it's draped with the gold and the letter and the lights that you see if you take a look at the photo up top. The background is nice. The monitor that displays the scores for the contestants looks crisp and clean. The wheel itself looks very nice as well. The board itself is much like the American board, which is also very good. And I love the gold border around it. Now, the set kind of takes a lot of inspiration from our Celebrity Wheel episodes that are on ABC. While this one, I believe, is on ITV1. Because it's on the same network as Jeopardy, so it would be ITV. Yeah, it is ITV because Channel 4 does not have... Yeah, because Channel 4 has Countdown, ITV has Jeopardy UK and The Chase. And the music package is the same as the current version of Wheel of Fortune, so it's that Changing Keys remix, which sounds really, really good. And if you like Wheel of Fortune, you're really going to like this revival. Another thing that they've done away with is the old UK style of scoring. The old UK style of scoring was this. It was points instead of cash. And it didn't matter if you won the round or not. If you scored anything in that round, it was banked. In this current version, though, in order to bank anything, you have to solve the puzzle. Otherwise, it goes away. And that's something that kind of ruined UK Wheel for me. Because we'll say in round 3, you could have a contestant do very well, spin up 1,000 multiple times, and it's 2,000 a letter because rounds 3 and 4, the dollar amounts were doubled. Or point amounts were doubled, excuse me. So a contestant could have like 22,000, make a missed call, and have it not affect the outcome of the game because they would have the most points at the end when everybody else was kind of starving. Sure, the other contestants got some nice prizes along the way, but they wouldn't have the shot at the major prize, whether it be the car or the cash or anything along those lines. And that makes it an upgrade. So the format is better. The set is gorgeous. The music is gorgeous. As for Graham Norton as a host, I gotta be honest, he does nothing for me. I'm not a Graham Norton fan. I didn't really enjoy his chat show. I honestly haven't really enjoyed anything that he's done. I'm just not a fan of Graham Norton. So as a host, he does nothing for me. For the format itself, when we get to the actual gameplay of it all, in the American version, there's the prize puzzles, kind of like the Golden Snitch, where if you win round 3, you get a prize that's could be anywhere between 7 to 10,000, and that's added to your score. And 99 times out of 100, if you win round 3 and 5,000 is not spun and speed up, you're winning the game. In the UK version, the bigger a disparity is in the jump-ins, or the toss-up puzzles. There are like 12 toss-up puzzles. They do like three after every break. And the total amount is like 9,000 pounds. So if you sweep all 12, not saying that it's impossible, but I've seen people on the US version sweep all 5 that are available recently. It can be done, and you have a 9,000 pound advantage. And the money amounts on the wheel, you would have to get some lucky spins. You'd have to hit top dollar quite a few times, and that just doesn't happen. Like in the first main set of puzzles, top dollar, or I'm saying top dollar, but the top value is 500 pounds. In the second part, it's 750, and the third part, it's 1,000. And then in the last part, there's the, you know how we have the $1 million wedge where it's bankrupt, $1 million wedge, and bankrupt in one wedge. But in the UK version, it's bankrupt, 2,000, bankrupt, and that's a permanent space on the wheel. So you have to fade 2 bankrupts in order to hit that 2,000. So instead of a 1 in 24 chance, it's now a 1 in 72 chance of hitting that $2,000 space. Now, why not just turn that 1,000 to like 1,500 or put the 2,000 space there? But I'm not the producer of the show. And my biggest complaint about the show is that it's the same contestants for an hour, and I think it's way too much. It feels like a slog sometimes, to where I'm like, I'm getting exhausted watching Wheel of Fortune, and I don't like doing that. Compared to the American version, where it is very fast paced, but that's because there's like 18, 19 minutes of show, and it's a half hour. Whereas the UK version is 1 hour, so about 45, 46 minutes of show. And it's the same contestants for that entire hour, and I think it's way too much. Compare that with our hour version, which is Celebrity Wheel of Fortune in America, and it's the same 3 celebrities, but they're playing two games. They have game 1, and then they do game 2. And because it's more lax, it's to me it's better paced. As for the UK version, you could get rid of that $750 section of the show, get rid of that $2,000 section of the show. You could have 2 complete games in that 45, 46 minute slot. Sure, it's an hour show, but I'm taking out the 15 or some odd minutes of commercials. And you could get more out of this show. It pains me to say this. I like the show, I really do, but sometimes it just feels like a slog. Like, I watched the premiere, and I watched it twice, 3 times, and it kind of felt like a slog on repeated viewings. Like, if they had like 2 games. And you could have had the end wheel be for like 25,000 instead of 50,000. Oh, I need to talk about the bonus. It's basically copy pasted from the American version, where they have the smaller wheel, which is 24 envelopes spun in through a wheel. The envelope that you land on is one that you pick, and it could be anywhere between 15,000 to 50,000 pounds, which is not too bad, especially for weekly prime time. Or is this tea time? Like, I think it's like 6 o'clock. Anyway, I know my review seems jarbled, but I want to. Here's the final focused version of it. It's a good show. If you like Wheel of Fortune, you're gonna like this version. However, there are some worries that and some quirks that you have to get around. Like, there's a lot more puzzles, but you're stuck with the same contestants for the entire hour. Maybe it's just me being used to a half-hour civilian version of Wheel of Fortune anywhere I watch it. Whether it be the US, whether it be the original British version, whether it be, which is my favorite international version of the show, the Australian version. Essentially any version of Wheel of Fortune where it's a half hour, I think is fine. But trying to do the same contestants for an hour just kind of wears on me. And with all of the puzzles, the toss-ups, the holiday bonus in the middle of the show, the normal puzzles, and everything else, it's like 22 puzzles, and I think that's too much. I just think it's too much. So my final grade for the Wheel Revival in the UK is a B. But that's not necessarily mean the show is bad. It's still worth the watch. I just don't know if personally I can watch it week in and week out because of it just feels like too much. So yeah, maybe consider this. That random review that we made fun of the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Gen 3 remakes that we got off After XY. Consider this. For me, 7.8 out of 10, too many puzzles. And that's going to do it for this review of Wheel of Fortune and its revival in the UK. I want to thank everybody for watching. What are your thoughts on the UK revival of Wheel of Fortune? Tell me in the comments below. Thumbs up this video, share it on the socials. Say, oh, look how stupid this person is. Oh, he hates Wheel of Fortune when he really goes, whatever. It's just too much wheel. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and I will see you next time, either for another review of a new show that debuts, whether it be something that I've done for C365, or maybe something completely different, maybe a home game, or a 26 weeks or less, or a top 5 video. Who knows what's going to be happening. Anyway, thank you everybody. See you next time. Bye for now.